Hello everyone, good evening everyone. My name is Stephanie. I'm one of the recruitment manager of RMIT University based in Malaysia. So welcome to the RMIT Next Fest Open Day webinar series today. And Woman Jeka, this means welcome to the Victorian Aboriginal language of the Wurundjeri people. RMIT University acknowledges the people of the Wurrung and Bundoora language groups of the Eastern Kulin Nation on whose unceded lands we conduct our business of the university. RMIT University respectfully acknowledges their ancestors and elders and past and present. RMIT also acknowledges the traditional custodian and their ancestors of the land and waters across Australia where we conduct our business. So just a little bit of housekeeping before we start our session today. If you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to pop them into the chat box, the Q&A chat box, as well as this webinar session will be recorded and uploaded onto our RMIT Next Fest Open Day website. RMIT is founded in 1887, and at present moment, RMIT is now a global university of design, technology, and enterprise. Initially, when RMIT was founded back in 1887, we are actually a worksman college, and it's only in 1992 we turned into a university. So RMIT presently is top 1% university globally worldwide, and we are also ranked number 22 out of the top in the 22 in the under 50 universities in the world. We offer more than 450 different programs, internationally recognized, ranging from business and all, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about in the later slides. And in terms of the arts and design, RMIT is ranked number 1 in Australia and number 11 in the world. So at present moment, we have approximately 97,000 students across 230 different countries, and we have graduated more than 450,000 students around the world. Next, please. So RMIT, Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology. We are located in Melbourne. So why Melbourne? Melbourne is the number 2 most livable city in the world and number 3 best student city in the world. So in Melbourne, it's a vibrant, welcoming, and multicultural city where our campus is actually located in the heart of the city centre, where students can actually experience the Melbourne lifestyle even without needing to go too far away from the campus. Next, please. So we have 3 campuses in Melbourne. Our main campus is the Melbourne City campus, followed by Bundoora and Brunswick campus, which I'm going to cover a little bit more on my later slides. And we also have 2 campuses in Vietnam, one in Ho Chi Minh City and one in Hanoi, as well as 1 research hub in Barcelona, Spain. So the Melbourne City campus, it's the main campus of RMIT University. It's located in the heart of the city centre and it's approximately the home to approximately 60,000 students. Majority of the courses are conducted in this particular campus, where we dominate approximately 7% of the numbers of buildings in the city centre. So since it's a city campus, it's quite widely spread across the city centre, and a lot of the buildings are innovative, brand new facilities, and there's a lot of study spaces around the world, around the city centre. There's also a lot of chill out zones, cafes, and retails pop up that students can easily access, and public transport is also very easily accessible. There's also a lot of food and eateries around the city centre as well. Next, please. Okay, so this is just an overview of the RMIT City campus and area view. You can see some of the buildings are actually quite centralized in one area, whereas there's a couple of buildings here and there. There's just one, which is the foundation building slightly down the road. Next, please. So as mentioned, RMIT is located in the city centre and public transport is easily available. It's actually located near the free tram zone when students can just easily hop on and hop off the free tram and they can just go to campus easily. Some students choose to prefer to stay outside of the city centre, hence they can easily take a train to the Melbourne Central Station, which is just across the city campus, and then can just cross over to the city campus. Next, we have the Bundoora campus. Bundoora campus is approximately 20 kilometers away from the city centre. So if you take a public transport, either by tram or by bus, it's going to take you approximately 30 minutes. The courses that's actually conducted in this particular campus would be the health, medical sciences, as well as teaching courses. And there's also like sporting facilities such as the football, soccer, and athletic tennis netball courts in this particular campus as well. So since this campus is slightly further out of the city centre, it's surrounded by parkland, lakes, and wildlife. It's a little bit more of a green campus or greener campus with concrete after concrete buildings in the city center. So in the Bundoora campus, it's also the only campus of RMIT University that has even it's an on-campus accommodation, it's not managed and not owned by RMIT, which I'm going to cover a little bit about the accommodation in my later slides. So this is just an overview of the Bundoora campus, very different from the city campus, where you can see a lot more of like green lands as compared to concrete buildings. Next. And finally, we have our final campus, which is the Brunswick campus, which is only approximately 5 kilometers away from the city center. It's a very small and boutique campus of RMIT, one of the smallest campus, which is only the home to approximately 3,000 students. So this particular Brunswick campus is the home to our fashion and textile, graphic design, and primary teaching education programs. And it's actually located next to Sydney Road, and in Brunswick, it's actually considered one of the very fashionable suburbs in Melbourne. Yep. So students can easily commute between the Brunswick and the city campus easily because it's only 5 kilometers apart. So these are some of the areas that RMIT do conduct our courses in. So out of these, all these and 50 different courses. So it ranges from like arts, architecture, design, and then within the School of Design, we have different types of design programs such as like fashion design, fine arts, etc. And of course, within our engineering, we also have a wide range of programs. So if you want to find out more about the programs that we offer in RMIT specifically and the website, and you'll be able to find a lot more details about the individual course itself. Next. So RMIT focuses a lot on industry connection when it comes to teaching our students. So a lot of syllabus, it's after discussion with the industry people, we actually teach the student what the industry really needs. RMIT also work a lot on the industry projects with real clients. So as a student in RMIT, you get the opportunity to work with a real life client, or during your case studies and all, it might be some real life projects that the industry partners are actually working on. So students in RMIT also has the opportunity to take part in local and overseas placement, whether be it it's paid or unpaid, voluntary, or you want to go as part of your course. So a lot of the competitions run by the university is also judged by the leading industry experts, where they will give you the students the valuable feedback. Students also have the opportunity to attend like field trips and clinical and studio practices during their studies at RMIT. So this has successfully put RMIT in the top 4 in Australia for our partnerships with employers, as well as top 4 in the graduate employability ranking in Australia as well. So in 2019 itself, because 2020 may not be a good year to do a comparison due to the pandemic. So in 2019 itself, our students have successfully 12,000 students have successfully gained our integrated placement with more than 3,000 partners of RMIT University. So these are some of the industry partners that we work very closely with. So depending on what is your course, what program you are doing at RMIT, to determine which industry partners you will get an opportunity to actually work with. So for example, Walt Disney is probably one of the ones that a lot of students ask, like, hey, what is RMIT doing with Walt Disney? If you go onto the Instagram page of Disney ANZ, you'll be able to see some of the work that has recently been uploaded by them, which is actually done by RMIT students. So our RMIT fashion students work very, very closely with Walt Disney to work on their projects. So RMIT is very serious about getting you ready after university. So hence we provide a lot of support for our students to ensure them that they are employable when they graduate from the university. So some of them that would include, like, we organize a lot of like the careers workshops or careers day, where we actually invite industry people that's actually wanting to hire to actually come to the university to speak to students. We also prepare the students in terms of like resume writing skills or interview skills, so that they know what to do or they know what to answer when they are applying for the job in the future. Yep. Please. Okay, so RMIT, we work with more than 200 partner institutions in across 49 different countries, where students have the opportunity to either do a 2 week study tour or up to a year, 2 semester abroad to study in a different country to actually gain some experience abroad, as well as to just experience the different teaching methods that's being used across our partners. So more than 3,000 students would take part in this global experience opportunity on a yearly basis. Yeah, next. So next, please. Like in RMIT University, since we have approximately 97,000 students, we run more than 160 clubs and societies that students can join, ranging from like sports, social and cultural creative programs that students can easily join, as well as next please, organize a lot of like excursions, road trips where students can participate during their early semesters. So MITS at RMIT is like a mentoring system where the students will be matched with a senior students of RMIT, where they can do a lot of like fun activities or learn about where to get the cheapest food, or certain food like Korean fried chicken in the city center, or just to probably improve on their grades as well. So the university also run a lot of like sports and fitness competition, where it's either the inter school, that means you are from the School of Engineering, you might be competing with the School of Business or College of Business people within the university, and you also have a chance to actually represent the university in the uni games, where the different universities will actually compete with one another, and each university will be given an opportunity to host the games on a yearly basis. Next, please. So just a little bit about accommodation and cost of living in Melbourne. The cost of living in Melbourne is approximately 25,000 Australian dollar per annum, and the main bulk of it would be from your accommodation. So in terms of the accommodation, depending on what type of accommodation that you are looking at, the price range would differ from one and another. So if you want to find out more about the accommodation that's available on nearby RMIT, you can just hop on to our accommodation website, on the main website, where you will be able to find a list of accommodation that's near RMIT University, their room types available, as well as their costs per week. So that's different rooms, different accommodation options available for international students. And the most common one would be the purpose-built student accommodation provider, and followed by shared houses. So usually in the first year, we would recommend students to stay in the purpose-built student accommodation providers, where students would get an opportunity to meet students from RMIT or for any other universities. This will also give them an opportunity to sort of like build up their social network before they want to move out into like the shared houses environment with their friends or family members if they have any. Yep, next please. So this is the estimated cost of living. So the main bulk of it would be from your rental, electricity, phone bill, public transport, depending on where you want to go to. But if you're only traveling around the city, public transport is free of charge because within the free tram zone. But if you are traveling out of the city, or if you're staying in the suburb, you want to travel to the city, then you probably might need to give a budget to it as well. Food is generally not too expensive in Melbourne, but again, it depends on what type of food you're eating, or what are you planning to do during the weekends. This would actually contribute to your entertainment costs as well as your food costs. So RMIT also provide a lot of support for our international students, and especially during this pandemic, all these support services has turned online. So for example, Studio City is something that students can actually connect live via one-to-one chat with a subject specialist to ask questions. So if they have any issues with a particular subject that they need help in, they can just use the live chat function to actually chat with them, and usually you will get a response within 24 hours. Peer mentoring system is again a voluntary-led, student-led program where students and mentor can connect through an app, where mentor will actually assist the students in building their academic skills, create a new network, or just simply if let's say you're not doing well or you're not understanding well in that particular subject, you can easily improve your grades by chatting with them or just getting to know them. So, and MIT at RMIT, which is I mentioned briefly earlier, it's for commencing students to meet mentors who will introduce them to life in RMIT and life in Melbourne. So if you're a new student in RMIT, you're not aware of how to use the system, how to download your lecture notes, or where to revisit your lecture slides, what you can do is you can just join the MIT at RMIT session, and our students would be able to actually guide you through. They will also provide you something that's outside of the what do you call this, the RMIT Live, where I provide you advice on like living in Melbourne every Wednesday, where it's like the cheapest place to actually buy a roll of toilet paper or a loaf of bread and all. Yep. So next, please. So another one is like the study hub support, where students can get the opportunity to work on their, to speak to the learning advisor, to learn about their assignments, planning or structuring their assignments, as well as general study skills, referencing skills, to ensure that your assignment doesn't fall into like the plagiarism. Assignment and exam support is also through an online chatbot, where students can actually learn about that as well, and probably like exam support preparation tips on past exams paper. There's other support such as counseling service, safer community or accommodation advice, career advice that's available for our students that is unable to study on campus at the moment. These services are provided to students online as well. Next. So these are the other support services that we do offer on campus. So for example, like if let's say counseling, if you're in Melbourne and then if you're facing any issues with like, oh, I'm feeling homesick because it's my first time abroad, living away from my family, you can easily just visit our counseling office and you can actually get in some counseling from them. Homesick is actually a very, very common thing that happens to mostly in, a lot of international students. So our counselors will be able to advise you accordingly. And if let's say you need support in if you have any disability support or long-term illness where you may need extra time in writing your exams, you can also visit the support services, where they will also assist you to find a way or plan out your schedule for you to ensure that you have a smooth learning journey in RMIT. So next, please. And just to cover a little bit on the scholarship, because most of you will be from a lot of different countries. So to all of you out there, I'm not sure where you're from, but you can just jump onto our website to find out more about the scholarships available. So the most common or standard scholarship that we have across the entire board would be the RMIT Ready Scholarship, which is valued at 20% for commencing students enrolled in our English for Academic Purpose program. We also have the RMIT Foundation Studies Bursary. Again, it's valued at 20% for commencing RMIT Foundation students starting in September 2021. So it's still not too late to apply for the September 2021 Foundation intake. If you have any questions, you can just jump onto the website and chat with us, and we will assist you to submit an application for the upcoming intake rather than waiting until next year. We also have an additional $5,000 once-off bursary for students who will be packaging their offers commencing in July 2022 if they were to commence their foundation studies in September intake this year. Another scholarship which is more applicable to undergraduate and postgraduate coursework students would be the 10% international student 10% deduction for students commencing their studies offshore for February 2022, as well as a Pathway to Victoria scholarship valued at $2,500 once-off payment into your student account for certain programs in RMIT. So to find out more about the details or the terms and conditions for this scholarship listed, you can just jump onto the website, which is stated on the left-hand side of the slides, to find out more. There are also a lot of other regional scholarships depending on where you are coming from and where you are from. You can also refer to the website for more information. Next, please. So that's all for my presentation today. So if you have any questions, you can chat with our friendly international team at this tiny URL stated here. And you can also make an appointment for a one-to-one audio or video chat with us. So thank you so much for your time today and have a great day. Bye-bye.